Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today I am playing a game. It is called Lone Sails. It came out about yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday, as of recording this. Probably about the day before yesterday, as of uploading it. Thursday, 17th. Right? 17th? Yeah, 17th. As a preface, I have already played the game, as I have most games on my fucking channel. All two of them. I've played them before. So this isn't gonna be, we're all, uncovering the secrets together. This is just a straight up, I'm walking through it because I want to play it again, and what greater excuse than to play it as a let's play? There is no greater excuse, that is it. That is the best excuse, and as such I'm using it. Also, I want to get as much of the achievements as I can, so that's also something I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be trying to get achievements, and I should probably have gotten a list of achievements that I can actually do. I've got most of them. There isn't a huge amount, because this game's quite linear, so a lot of the achievements are just do the thing that you have to do in the game anyway. It's not a bad thing, of course, it's just, just a thing that is. Right, so, I've got my achievements out that I haven't got yet. Unfortunately, one of them I might have already lost, because it's to, complete the game in less than 99 minutes, which is, it's not exactly something I'm gonna be doing, is it? Oh, man. I've got this weird screen tearing issue, which I was exceedingly sure I'd gotten fixed, but apparently not. Anyway, that does not matter. What matters is, I'm playing the game, and I also put rubber bands around my analog sticks so they're less annoying now. And also, I'm going to press this button. Oh, look at that, it's opened all the doors. Another thing I'm planning on doing in the game is doing a lot of exploring. Also, I'm not entirely sure I fixed that screen tearing issue. It's definitely better, but anyway. Yeah, something else I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking a lot more than I did in my first playthrough, all by myself. I'm going to be looking at a lot of the things in the background, such as in the beginning, where we start next to a tree and a tree house, and what looked to be a grave, which is definitely a very nice way to begin anything at all. Can't go this way, of course. There's a big wardrobe in the way. We can see in the background here is a sort of big machine blueprint sort of thing, except it's not blueprint, obviously, because it's not blue. But what's there? There's also a picture of two men, one of which is wearing a red tie, the other of which is holding a red other thing, which I can't quite tell what it is. In this place, it's just telling me how to zoom in. Yes, I am holding left trigger to zoom in and right trigger to zoom out. That is a part of the mechanics of the game. So this is, I assume, my room, being that I've got a big picture of myself, as we all do, in all of our rooms, collectively. Yes, just a sort of bed, some books, a picture of me, again, very standard. What's not standard, however, is the mad scrawlings all over the wall, which seem to be just a bunch of rain clouds over possibly that town over there to the right. I'm not sure what's off to the left, and I'm not sure it really matters. But anyway, that's not important. What is important is I've got a lantern, and that makes me happy. There's also a suitcase, but I'm not interested in the suitcase. In my first playthrough, I collected absolutely everything, and it wasn't worth it, because, didn't have enough space to keep it. It's got really annoying. Also, there's a pram under here. That's weird. Not sure what to say about that, except that it's weird, as I did. So of course we'll continue on. There's nothing under here. Just a little bit of nothing. May as well stop holding the zoom in button. There's a little sign which points towards the beach and the old town. And of course that over there's the old town. Oh, look, a seagull. At least we're not entirely alone in this godforsaken wasteland or whatever. And there's a big town in the distance. Very nice. Well, it seems to be getting precedingly more misty and hard to see, and now I'm waist deep in water. And now I'm not exactly much I can think of to say to commentate to this. Except comment on what's happening, which is, you know, essentially what Let's Playing is. So, you know, oh, what is this? Whoa, this is really cool. This looks very similar to that thing that was in our house, that picture. So yeah, anyway, this is the big sort of engine, I'm gonna call it, because calling it a tractor sounds lame. Actually, you know what? I'll just call it what the game devs are called. Okomotive. That's the people who made this, and it's quite fitting because it sounds like locomotive. And this thing kinda looks like a really weird land train. Except that's pretty much just what cars are. Except cars can steer. This can't steer, by the way. So I guess it is sort of like a train in that fashion. Like a conventional locomotive, as opposed to an okomotive. But yeah, I mean, the logo of the game devs is, in fact, very reminiscent of this vehicle, and as such, you know, I don't see a reason why I can't call it the same thing. Probably what they were going for anyway, you know. So yeah, this is our okomotive. But also that sounds pretty lame as well, so I'm just going to call it an engine. Fuck you. Yes, to begin with, this is a big thing. We've got an elevator. That's basically all we've discovered so far. Other than that, we've got a big thing that shoots steam out that says steam in it, on big letters. There's also a big thing that says speed, which I assume is a speedometer, otherwise more commonly referred to as a speedometer by regular people. Right next to that we have a big thing that says energy. Right over here you might notice we have a big thing that has some numbers on it. This is the mileage. This is how far it's gone. It also, interestingly, has stayed the same, despite having started a new game. But anyway, some other stuff around here, like tiny little bits of writing and like arrows pointing different ways, and some screen tearing, and some notes up there on the top right, but they're not important to the actual mechanics of the machine. This thing doesn't do much right now, so I'm just gonna ignore it. This thing up here is a little bit of a parking brake sort of dealio. And this thing right here, who knows? Sounds like it's an ignition. By the sound it made and the fact that it made the energy flash and tell me it was empty. This also, who knows what it is? It's splurting out some sort of liquid. I don't know. And finally, over here, I think it's final. Yeah. Oh, well, there's one other thing. which is this thing. Oh, I don't want to move it yet. This is the tow. You can tow it if you run out of like fuel or whatever. And this is to winch in the tow, quite obviously. Except for the fact that, you know, when you let go of the tow, it goes straight back in anyway, so what's the point of it? I don't know. But yes, finally, we have this. What does this do? Well, that lifts those boxes that were on the elevator up into that thing in the top left, and turn them into energy. Which means that we can start this machine going. Fantastic. You'll notice straight away the steam meter is starting to go up very slowly and reaching peak capacity, so press that button and it gives me a bit of a speed boost. If you don't press it, it just turns off your engine and you stop. Also, you may have noticed, as I was standing around there, the ignition came out of the, I'm just going to put fuel back in. Each of these boxes does half a thing of energy. Speed boost. Yeah, you might notice this was coming out. It does that from time to time. You have to keep pushing it in, which is frustrating, but because it's just a mechanic of the game. But it'd be fun if it wasn't easy. So, essentially, it's just this for a large portion of the game. Just trying to go along the landscape, listening to the lovely music, and stopping along the way for any boxes you find on the ground for fuel, which I'm sure we'll come across imminently, being that we are. Oh, there we go. Ah, lovely. I do love that. The way the music goes from being all lively and upbeat and suddenly becomes all quiet. And that's the last box. I did neglect to mention that you can hang things on hooks. I mean, I already did that with one of the lanterns, but it's not only lanterns, it's all kinds of stuff. But anyway, let's get back on the road. And in comes the music again. Lovely. Yes, something I neglected to mention also at the beginning was I don't think I'm going to be doing a full playthrough of this. It's going to be fairly short. Oopsie daisy, forgot about the ignition. Yeah, it's going to be fairly short, just like not sure how long. Because I'm not doing it based on time, I'm doing it based on how far I get in the game. But I'm basically going to go such and such distance, and then I'm going to stop, because, you know, this is a type of game that is really best played yourself. And I know that something I have with watching Let's Plays is I rather often see a game that I'd really like to play off of someone doing a Let's Play, and then they'll do like a really long video which spoils basically all of the story, and then I go to buy it and play it myself, and you know, it's just not interesting because I already know most of what's going to happen. So yes, again, I do implore you to play the game for yourself. I mean, if you're already interested, you know, just exit the video, go buy that game off of your preferred game buying medium, and have at it. Have a good time driving your locomotive. Otherwise, you know, if you don't really care all that much about the game, you know, whatever, do what you want. You know, I won't fucking stop you, but, you know, I recommend that you play it for yourself and don't get all spoiled by all this stuff I'm doing. And go. There we go. Need some steam. It's getting quite misty again. Oh, it's a bit bumpy there. Looks like we're going into some water. Whoopsie, I keep forgetting because I'm an idiot. Looks like something's auto-saving the bottom right. Oh. Oh, there's more boxes. But there's also a crane in the distance. Whoopsie, okay, well. I guess I can... Well, actually I can't... Well, no I can't really. I was gonna trundle this forward a little bit. But I can't really because it's up a hill. Yes, as you'll notice I can't really get under there, which is a bit of a problem. But, not for long, seeing as I can just sort of go back here and under the bottom, which is very useful if you end up running over some barrels or something. Now I'm gonna store this barrel in the conventional barrel storing area, which is right next to the winch button. So if I need to use a winch, because I'll have to deal with that. Yes, barrels, if you don't know, are basically similar to the boxes. They give you fuel, but they give you a whole tank of fuel rather than just half a tank, like as the boxes do. Waste some steam, pushing that button. Certainly a steep hill. My engine's having some trouble getting up here. Just ignore all those, loud explosion-y noises happening from the back of the engine. It's probably fine, it makes those noises all the time. Doesn't really mean much, as far as I can tell. Oh, let me just... Oh, down a hill. Speed boost. Oh, this is fun. Oh, we're passing the something, whatever that shit was called. Didn't quite see it. There's one box. I'll stop for it. I'll stop for the singular box. And off again. Clicked into place. Steam up. And we're trundling along at a rather nice pace. Now you may or may not have noticed by now the theme of the current area, or the background as a whole of the game so far. But it seems predominantly... Oh dear, oh blimey. Let me just move us forward a little bit. There we go. Okay, so as you may have noticed, we've hit a bit of a roadblock in that we can't quite, get past here with our engine, as it's stuck on this container. But yes, as I was saying, and this is quite a good place to say it, you might have noticed a lot of the background seems to be related to sea stuff. Buoys, ports, anchors, those sort of cranes that stand in water. Which is all, in, it's all in good affairs, except for one issue, which is the distinct lack of the aforementioned sea, which becomes apparent to the well, not to the reason of, but at least it becomes much more apparent when you see these signs attached to this here crane, which is probably better to see from down here. As you can see, going from left to right, with the one on the left looking the oldest and the one right there at the bottom looking the newest, it seems that the recorded sea level has lowered all the way from 11.5 meters to 2.4 meters. And of course, that's obviously a very old sign itself, because, well, it's looking a lot lower than 2.4 meters, specifically 2.4 meters lower than 2.4 meters, at the least. That's all you can divine for now. Yeah. Also, we have a little item here. Might... Oh, blimey, don't want that. Put the anchor down again. Which might be a representation of a globe. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in my little room. I'm going to hang it up on one of the hooks and bring it with me. And let's go up and back up here to do what we're actually supposed to do. And now here we are in the cabin. Before I press this big old button, we can see, obviously someone used to live here, and there's a bunch of cans, as it seems. But there, in the picture, a lovely picture of what it used to look like around here. Looks very nice. Fortunately now, I can't really say the same. And clamp. Nice. Who knows what that is? Me, I know, obviously, but whatever, I don't care. Anyway, let's just continue. Oh, actually, let's continue and actually press the button. So, what on earth could this be? Well, let's push the button and find out. Oh, blimey. It is the game's namesake. The Lone Sails. Perhaps. I don't know. Just sails in general. But yes. Not sure why there's sails attached to a big engine like this. But apparently it's very good at doing what it does despite having numerous holes, but you know, I won't shout about that for too much. And this obviously used to be a big harbour and a big beach, and now it's just completely, you know, devoid of the sea. Now exactly why that is, we don't know. We don't know yet. It could be for any reason, really. There's just a piano sitting there. All alone. Also, a bus which has crashed very much head-on into that rock. Oh. And there's also a small pile of very well-balanced stones, which seems to be keep together very well despite the large amount of wind. You know, I think for a lot of these bits where I'm just sort of sailing along or driving along, I might just not talk and not cut them, just because it really, you know, it conveys the sort of atmosphere of the game. It's what this game is. It's nice and atmospheric and lovely and quiet and tranquil and orderly and very much not about loud. Oh no, never mind then. Oh dear. Oh well. You see. Right. Yeah. Oh dear. Yes. Well, perhaps I spoke too soon. Oh shit! It's on fire. Right. Yes. That's what this is for. It sprays water out. Which brings me on to talk about the energy. Which I find quite fascinating to consider the fact that the energy is probably just straight up water, because of course this sprays out just straight up water. It is very much steam based, as you can see here. This is all very steampunky. And it would make sense as to why there's, well, maybe not, I don't know. It's a very unorthodox method of loading water, you know, with crates and barrels of what look like are leaking a weird black substance, but, you know, are apparently water. Although, it's possible they aren't actually water at all, and they're just objects with a lot of mass or a lot of energy in them, which that thing in the top left turns into water. Because you can turn anything into water. You can turn a fucking chair into water. I have in fact done that exact thing with the chair in the top right in my little bedroom, which you can't see now, but whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna go down here and explore and see what I can't do about this big propeller in my way. Although first of all, what's this down here? Piano and a little bell. I like the bell. It's nice. But now there's a big red button, and as of course we all know, in this universe, red buttons are made to be pressed. Well, I suppose all buttons are made to be pressed, except the ones that you, like, sew into shirts and put pins on to also attach to your shirts, but in different fashions. Oh, blimey. That took a long time to fall down. I'm glad I haven't fallen down there, eh? Well, anyway, it seems now that we're free to move on, so I suppose I'll raise a sail on a new adventure, and across we go. Something I also have noticed so far is, yes, this is all very, you know, apocalyptic and, you know, the sea is gone. But from what I've seen, so far is, not only does it seem just the sea's all gone, but it also seems that it's been gone for a very long time, and that people have had it themselves a very long time to get used to it. I'm just gonna get ready to, well, I'm gonna cut the sails now. Come on, cut the sails, oh, fucking, well, shit, let me just check. Oh, Jesus. That makes everything better. Yeah, this is a bit sparky. Not exactly the best. Oh jeez. Okay, put on the brakes again. Waste steam. Yeah. We've hit a bit of a roadblock. Now what was I saying? Something about the, yeah. It seems as though not only has the sea completely vanished, but it completely vanished an exceedingly long time ago, and people have had an exceedingly long amount of time to get used to the fact that it's completely gone. As you can first of all see by this big bridge, which of course, in the time when the sea was still here, would be entirely covered by ocean. But of course, it's had a long enough time to be built, maintained, and then subsequently abandoned to, well, whatever. Certainly also, on that sign over there, I'm not going to go back there, it's going to waste too much time, but the sign next to the motorcycle actually says a tide warning. So, obviously at some point when that sign was made, you know, that's where the tide was, and that makes sense because this is a very flat area. So if the sea was around here and rose, it would rise very quickly. Oh, blimey. Then of course you can see here, what on earth is this weird thing with a big button on it that's flashing? Well, it looks... that circle there looks a lot like the energy thing in my big tractor, so what if we put some energy in there? Oh, wow! The engine starts up and starts lifting us up. Nice. So now we're at the top. Let's use some of the energy, but there's still some left. And I can see in the background is quite a few little posters for something that says "A New Home" up the top. I mean, who knows what that's about, but there's certainly quite a few of them, so whoever put them up was definitely adamant about people considering it as their new home. Just gonna take this lantern with me because I like having lanterns. They light up my little locomotive. Or locomotive, whatever. There's also, right here in the middle of the bridge, Henriksen and Sons. Wonder what that could mean. Well, it's obviously the people who built this bridge, but I wonder if it will come up later, wink wink. And of course, as is the staple of the game, there's a big red button and another "A New Home" leaflet. So I'll just press that one. And the bridge goes down. Oh. Well, that certainly happened. Kinda glad it did, because if it didn't, then that big weight would have been in the way. In terms of getting down, don't really have much options except to jump, but thankfully, I seem to be very good at floating, which is very nice. So I'll just shove this little lantern somewhere. Maybe up near my room, that dark spot. Right here. Whoopsie, right. Here. And as I was saying, there's that sign right there. Whoop. Danger. Tide zone. So of course this used to be a place where the sea level was. Not anymore. But I guess we've done everything here, so I'll push this very broken button into its place. And we'll be on our way. All aboard! Yeah, the wind seems to have gone. You can see from that flag up the top. Well, actually, the wind is still doing pretty okay here. But, I think it's gone under these, under these towers. which is, I assume, to stop you from lifting up the sails under the towers and just sort of being cheeky with it, because the sails are supposed to be down under the towers, because they're not supposed to be able to fit. And now the wind is officially gone. Just as I stop my locomotive to get out and raise the sails, the wind suddenly disappears. So I guess I'm just gonna... I'll probably just fill up my tank to full, and ding my bell again, put it right here. Ah, come on now. Put that there. And start the engine again. I'm gonna grab one of my fuel barrels because I'm running low on boxes. And I don't want to have to run to get a barrel later. Yeah, I'll put that there. Oh, shit. Let the throttle come out. Box ahead! And I'll hang him here on this hook. And back to it. Not happy about that. Probably because of the fact that this is incredibly damaged. Which you can tell, I forgot to mention this before, but over here is 3 little bars. That used to be 2 before I got the sails, and there's a space for 1 more. And those are the health bars of all the attachments to this vehicle. You know, the throttle, you know, the oh, I'm out of energy. Yeah. The symbols on the health bars match up, so there's an equal sign just below me, essentially, which matches up to the equal sign on the health bar. There's a sort of diagonal bar next to the button which loads the fuel, and there's a double vertical line right next to the sails. And now the wind does seem to be picking up again, but it's not exactly going in the best direction for us right now. It's going exactly the opposite direction to the way we want, so, you know, that's not exactly the greatest. I'll put this barrel in the designated barrel storage area. The coast. And that way's the harbour. So we are going in the right direction of the host. Well, the coast rather, not the host. The coast with the most. I'll just put one jet in the box up there and get back to it. But yes, we're in very much a storm right now. There is also something down there. It's another one of those like collectible items, which aren't really collectible, they're just items which are a bit, you know, they stand out a bit, but they don't really do much. And I already spent my time collecting them last playthrough, so I'm not going to spend any more time doing that. I will, however, spend time putting crates into my fuel. You can see on the you can see on the ground as well the pattern left by where the sea used to be, or at least I believe that's what the pattern is. Don't stop. Please. Don't stop, that sign says. Oh, fuel. I am gonna stop, screw you. Oh, blimey, this is not happy with the state of things. I'm gonna need to put some more fuel in very soon, otherwise I'll run out. Come on now. Yes, I've noticed that the stop button seems to take a considerably large amount of energy. Oh, I didn't actually put that in. Oh dear. Jesus Christ! No! My sails are on fire! Oh, I had no idea that was gonna happen. And now the fucking sails are damaged as fuck. As well. Not that that's too much of a problem being there. You know, the wind's not exactly in our favour, we don't need to use the sails. Oh, thank God the storm's come to a close. And once more back to it. Blimey. Just taking its time now. It's very slow. Oh, we are coming up on something though. We're certainly coming up on a lack of fuel. And boom. Probably shouldn't have done that because it's just damaged me even more. But it's okay because I'll probably deal with it. Just grab this little cube, put it on this hook, and up the elevator. Oops, that was on the right side. And nice. Oh, and someone's taken off the parking brake. Not entirely sure who or what. And we, weirdly enough, can't press this button. I wonder why that might be. We put this barrel here on top of this little trap door here. At least it seems to be a trap door. Pretty sure it's a trapdoor. So yeah, we can't press this button. What on earth are we to do? Well, we could certainly grab this and, well, wouldn't you know it? It's a welder. Which just so happens to be very apt at fixing broken mechanisms. Such as this here button. Oh, there goes my barrel straight into that hole. Which also happens to be the same hole that welder's going into. Very nice. Let me just float my way down and land on top of it. Nice. Oh, blimey. Wait for me. There's fuel back here. Right, so I'll start off by fixing everything. Oh yes, of course, the barrel I threw in. Start off by fixing the ignition. Nice. And you can see the health bar on the ding-a-ling. On the right there is full up again. And I'll get the sails done. Taking it. There we go. And I'll just touch up the item system because it's a little bit low. There we go. Let's put this on the thing, and there's no wind, so I guess we're firing up the engine. Off we go. Not entirely sure if that's faster than when the system wasn't working, or if it's just like it occasionally came undone or refused to start when it was broken. Putting in a bit of fuel. There we go. Oh dear. Plug this back in. Steve. More fuel. I'm sure we can just break through this gate here. Should be fairly easy. Stop. There we go. I can see straight away there's a little elevator on top of that gate. Can I make it? Can I make it? Ah, just about. Okay. So we're at some sort of radio station at the current moment. Oh, very high up. Very nice, very cinematic. Very nice bathtub down there in the bottom left. Oh. And there's a little radio. I'll take that. Oh, windy. What do you think? If I go over this side, does it actually bend the tower? Who knows? But yeah, as it's already marked on the radio, it's not exactly very hard to figure this out. There we go. I've looked through the radio, by the way, there isn't many secrets. I'll tell you now, if you do end up playing this game, take the radio with you, because there is occasionally, as you go along, times where it'll pick up things. Like right now, there's this song. There's some areas later in the game where you pick up conversations or whatever. Not really sure entirely, because I lost it along the way, halfway along the way, because I kept it on the roof with me where I was sailing along, and then I stopped too harshly, and it just flew off, and I didn't notice, which was annoying. But for me, unfortunately, one of the achievements I want requires the removal of this radio, I believe, at least. I'll take it out at the top. Put it right there. Just gonna get my well done. No strange motives here at all. I'm totally not gonna burn anything. No, this isn't what it meant. Well, in that case, it probably meant this. Yes, one of the achievements is to burn the radio as it's playing, I believe, and as such, that might refer to doing this. It might not, but I can't think of any other method of burning other than using the welder or putting it in this. There you go. Achievement get. Sound of silence. And back off we go. Just gonna put in another box. And actually, I'm gonna put on in this other box, and then I'm gonna open up the sails because it's windy. See here in the background some very lovely windmills. And I think we've come far enough for this little look at this game. So, hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, leave a like. If you want to see more videos, subscribe to the channel. If you want to give me some feedback, comment, etc, etc. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video that I see you in. See ya!